We will go there, correct?
We will, yeah, well, in a way, we are already in Alfama because this first place we stopped, these 2 points of view, they belong to the neighborhood of Alfama. Everything on the left side is St. George neighborhood. Because there used to be a wall around this side of the city. Very curious. If you Google this church here that we're finding here on the right side, which is a church called the Church of Santiago, you will find out that Christopher Columbus was married here.
Really?
Yeah. In the Church of Santiago, Christopher Columbus married a Portuguese lady that was his wife most of his life. And here also starts the road of Santiago de Compostela. 610 kilometers from here. Christians and non-Christians, they do it just for the fun of the ride and for spiritual reasons. They walk from here up to the north, a city in Galicia in Spain, where there is a cathedral to this saint, but a big cathedral. This is a little church from the same order. But, you know, Columbus worked for Portugal at the time of the discoveries, and he ended up by falling in love with a Portuguese lady and marrying it here. And that's one of the historical facts that we have from Christopher Columbus. Some theories point that he was Italian. The Spanish love to say he was Spanish. Mm-hmm. The Portuguese, by our hand, we are not sure. It was too long ago, and the only proof that we have that Columbus had a connection with we have three based on three facts, which is he was married here with a Portuguese lady. That means he was working here and he was established here some way. Because ladies at that time from Lisbon did not travel to Spain or Italy to go around. Only men traveled on the boat, sailing and were bringing, selling, changing merchandise. The other fact that maybe Columbus was from Portugal is that he named a few of his discoveries with Portuguese names of villages, like for example the village of Cuba. There's only another place in the world that has the same name as the island, Cuba, and it's a small village around 150 kilometers from here. Maybe it was from here, we don't know.
Quick question.
Sure.
Are we still in Alfama?
Alfama is, that's where we stop in now. The first point of view we stop is this
So
way.
if we want to come back for a walk by ourselves,
sure.
Are we in right where we should be right now? This is where we walk to?
Then I would do something else. Then, for example, imagine at the end of the tour, then I would leave you down by Alfama. Okay. And you go up the narrow streets until you reach the upper part of the hill, which is here. Okay. So that then if you want to visit the castle, because the castle is paid and it's just for walking. There's no cars there. Okay. So this is as close we get. This is as close as we get to the castle. Okay. But Alfama is all this neighborhood.
Who's the statue?
And this is Saint Vincent. The same name of that monastery there in his honor is the Saint Patron of Portugal. For Christians, Saint Vincent represents the saint that protects Portugal.
I like it. Tudo bem. I like tudo bem.
So this is kind of where we want to hang out afterwards and be dropped off.
Okay. So then if we're going to get dropped off here, do we want to spend much time here now?
Right, I just want to see what actually down there where we want to be. I don't know, he said I found it. Not here. Yeah, not here. Let's walk right over there real quick.
Okay.
Yep.
mom makes your mama listen to you. So I can get away from
How much is this? How much are the caps? Oh. How much are the caps? 10 euro. 10 euro?
Here on the second floor?
Sorry.
People living there now?
This a lot, bem. This here is antiques renovation school where people learn how to renovate like everything from tiles to paintings. Or if, for example, imagine you saw in a painting you saw this like table, for example, from the 15th century. You can ask them to look at the painting, they can replicate the table on the painting, for example. So they can replicate things that might be on a family house hundreds of years ago that just remained on the painting that someone did for the house. You see what I mean? Right. So they can renew everything, and that's how that was the palace of a family belonging to the monarchy. Later on, a family bought that palace and turned it into the school. I think a part of their family lived there for some time, but nowadays I think no one lives there. It's just a school museum, and they have like press conference areas, amphitheater. It's a proper palace. Palaces in Lisbon are famous for having everything on their surroundings. A little church, a little theater, like the Romans used to do. Like if a person had a mini city inside their house. But it's still what people do today. Everybody likes to have a nice home cinema at home or a swimming pool. So this is the same thing.
Same thing.
The Romans would build their bigger palaces in this style. This is bits and parts of different as they build the building higher and higher. But if you notice, this was the family house, and then here they had their church. In this case, they were probably very Christian because the door and the church is huge for a family house. Has a doorbell, you see?
Right. So you pull on that, it's cable?
Yeah, it's cable bell with a bell. It might have just one bell or a line of bells through the house. So when they pull it, it might be 100 meters away, the bell will play on the other side of the house also.
Right. Hey, remind us what your name is again?
Gilles.
Gilles.
Yeah, it's written G-I-L. It's the simplest form of the name Gilles. That then there's many combinations. For example, there's a famous Brazilian singer that is called Gilberto Gil. See? In that case, Gil is his family name. In my case, it's my name. It's my second name, because my name is many Portuguese is two names. Like my name is Manuel Gil, but no one calls me Manuel. You know, Manuel is the name of my grandfather. That was Francisco Manuel. In Portugal, we have the tradition of having one or two main names, and then we have four family names, one for each grandfather. That's the parents choose from their dad's names what the names they want to bring to the kid.
So do you have more names other than Manuel?
I have in total I have 6 names, but that's not unusual for Portuguese because of that tradition. I am Manuel Gil, and then I'm Garrett from my grandfather's side, from my mom's side, and then I'm Castro from my grandmother, from my mom's side, and then I'm Alba from my grandmother's side, from my dad, and I'm Linhares. My last name Linhares is from my grandfather.
Do you ever have to use your entire name?
We always use our entire names when we have to sign anything, fill a form, or or at school on the top of the books.
Wow.
Our names are always presented in the full. There's no abbreviations.
So, Gilles, when
Yes.
we're going through the different areas,
Right.
would you point out if there is a authentic restaurant or fado
Ah, yes, sure.
that is not necessarily the local, I mean, the tourists?
I'll do both things. I will show you where they are,
Thank
and I'll at the end of the tour, I will send you a message with a few suggestions for fado houses. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Sometimes the best places are behind a hidden door.
Yeah, well, in Lisbon, you know, you still have two styles, which is the old style of fado house, because they used to be the house of someone before,
Right.
many centuries ago, before there was the concept of restaurants or bars or pubs. The people who had the houses below the buildings at night would slightly open the doors, put some curtains,
Yes.
and start playing music. And if it was their family house, they would bring their furniture from the different rooms and set up an improvised dining room.
Neat.
Then, from the family or from the neighbors around, someone would play the Portuguese guitar, some of them would sing.
Very nice.
Fado houses are a unique type of commerce because it looks like you just got in someone's house,
Right.
as it was in the past. And another funny thing about fado houses is that because they were the only option to have fun around for many centuries, even the nobles like kings and queens would dress as a person from the people to go to drink and eat with the people on the fado houses.
Incognito.
This is our tradition of markets.
Ah, look at all the cameras.
Antiques, flea markets in Portugal play a very important role. When the Portuguese start wandering around the world, they start bringing things that were never seen or tasted in Europe. So
Nice.
markets are so important that our days of the week, they're there to organize the markets.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
This is neat. There's a little hand towel embroidered by
You can find
Jill, you
amazing
can just
things
drop
here.
Kathy and Norma off here, and you and I will continue with the tour.
Okay, well, no.
There's your
They,
camera.
I'm
Oh my
sure
gosh,
they would
did you
have
see
fun
this?
here.
Yeah.
I mean, but I can also, if you want, I can stop a little bit, so you can take like, 10 minutes or 15 to wander. I'm sure that one thing that I usually tell my guests to buy, because it's an amazing souvenir,
Yes. There's a
and
hand.
it's light, it's the mosaics. They sell mosaics from like 15th century for €5 each. So with €5 or €10, you have a tile that is 400 or 500 years old,
Oh, wow.
that were somewhere in a wall for many centuries. They are
I'd love that.
very beautiful, and this is like a treasure hunt. If you will notice, in between the people buying, there is this expertise dealing with the people are selling stuff that are very valuable. They don't know. So those experts, they just do a nice deal with them, because they tell them, look, that's worth much more. That's not €20, it's 200. Because I told you, can you sell it for 100?
Oh my. Look at that.
This is a national pantheon. National pantheon is where we have 12 of the most important characters of our history. People who changed our culture, medicine, politics, music. It's a very long history. The Portuguese history started around 900 years ago, when the country was created, and then there was the reconquest of the land.
The reconquest.
Reconquest, because the Portuguese are actually what was the different people and cultures that lived here before the Romans arrived, and combined all those different little kingdoms into one, and they called us the Lusitans. That was the biggest area region on when the Romans arrived. So we
Yeah. Actually, right here, this would be a neat picture. Sit right there. Ready? Wait, that one didn't work. Why is it not grabbing that?
Да, так и осталось. Но самое интересное другое. Дело в том, что до сих пор на балконах можно увидеть их называемые древние стиральные машины. Вы помните, у нас была гладильная доска, на которой мы, да, стирали. А у них все пошли намного дальше. Они просто из бетона делали сразу такие, знаете, резервуары, где изначально было сделано типа, знаете, вот такой, знаете, стиральной доски, только из бетона. И они везде стояли на балконе. Это как тоже занимает немножко недвижимость.
Oh, so she thinks it's
Πιο nice.
before. Because it's just too cheap. Dos voces. Dos, sí, gracias. Yellow. Or I'll take one. I'll take another one. There's two.
Hola, ¿qué